Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be doing the seesaw animation. It's easy to follow, so open up the After Effects and let us get started. First thing first, you want to create a new composition. Let's keep it to 1280 by 720. Square pixel, frame rate 30, resolution to full. Let's keep the duration 10 seconds and keep the background black for now. And we'll call this animation. There's basically going to be two parts that we want to model and work on. One is to create a seesaw, one is to animate the ball. So in terms of the ball, there is a weight difference and it depends on the materials too. Let's say if you're working with a tennis ball, it will bounce a lot more. And compare that to the bowling ball, it's heavy and the material is solid, so it's not going to bounce as much. And using the seesaw, we're going to create an anticipation and the animation as well. Let's first go ahead and create a seesaw with the rectangle. We'll just choose white with no stroke. And we'll create a long rectangle like that. And using the pen behind tool, click onto shape layer 1. I'm going to change the anchor right there at the center. And we'll rename this one to rectangle and deselect rectangle. Let's go ahead and change into start tool. We're going to click and drag while you're holding onto it, keyboard down, and then that's going to be 3 points. Don't worry, you will have pretty much a triangle. I have different options. If you have something looking like me, you can go to the path. And if you happen to miss how many points, then you can go here and change it. 3 is the minimum option. And inner or outer radius will be the one that will affecting this. So I'll just go ahead and keep it to 65. That seems like where it should be. Using the selection tool, click on the shape layer 1, rename this one to triangle base, and we'll put this one right at the bottom, and now we can put this right on top. Alright, so now this, hit R on your keyboard. Now this, you can actually move it like that. Awesome. At any point, if you make a mistake, you can do Control Z. Again, if you're using Mac, it's going to be Command Z. Alright, so our base is done. Let's go ahead and create a circle. Make sure you deselect everything. Click and hold. Let's use the ellipse tool. Change the color. I'll first choose green color. Click and drag. And while you're doing it, hold down the shift. It's going to snap in 1:1 ratio. Again, using the pen behind tool, click onto shape layer 1. Change that anchor point to the center of this shape. Always when you're done, go to the selection tool and one part is done. We're going to duplicate it by clicking onto shape layer 1, Control D, put it onto the right hand side. We'll make the shape layer 1 size smaller, hit S on your scale. We'll keep it to 70, but if we change it here, it's going to affect how it's going to animate. So instead of bringing out the scale like this, we can actually open up the contents, ellipse 1, ellipse path, and this way we can actually change it better. We'll keep it to 100. Nice. By doing that, you're keeping the size of the overall layer, but you're only changing the size of the shape. Let's go ahead and change the name to small ball, and this, we'll call this big ball. Now since we do have both of them ready to go, what we're going to do is we're going to introduce a bit of the animation from top to bottom. As we stand here, we'll make it so that this comes down and we want to have maybe 3 different balls stacked on top in order to equate the weight of this. So first we have to do basic animation. Hit P, keyframe the position. Let's bring this one top. Actually, let's bring this one over here. And go to the 2.5. We'll bring this one down. Hold down Shift. We'll make it a lot easier. Just like that. And as we do that, we want to change the rotation of that. Bring the time indicator in the beginning. Keyframe the rotation. Go to where it was keyframed for the circle. Click and drag and just change the angle to this. So now it looks like the ball is just moving down along with the seesaw. Alright, let's put this one at the top. We want this to move down first, and as it moves down, we want this to come in. So let's go ahead and hit P for the small ball. Click on the position. As it touches that, we want to go to right after it ends. And let's bring it over here. I want to relocate this one a little bit. So I'll go ahead where the keyframe was and I'll just bring it to the right a little. Cool. And as it makes a contact, we want to duplicate it. So Control D, small ball. Hit U on your keyboard brings out all the keyframes. Delete everything. Second one is where it's going to come down from here. As it goes down, that's where we want to start it. Keyframe here. And then we'll put this one down, drag it down. Just like that. It moves down. And then, again, duplicate that one. Hit U on your keyboard. Delete that. Overlap it a little. We want to start the third ball right there. Keyframe the position. Overlap it a little. And then bring this one down. And as this one moves down like this, we want to make it so that they all move together along with the seesaw. In order for us to do that, from here to here, we want to cut it like this. As I cut it, it disappears. So how are we going to cut it? Click on the big ball or the layer that's sitting all the way at the top. Shift the bottom of the layer until the small ball. Control D will duplicate it, but if you do Control Shift D, it's going to cut and place the cutted layer right on top. We'll click and drag this one, put it at the bottom of the small ball. So we have all these contents. Now this one, we can hook it to the rectangle, so it will work along with the rectangle. So make sure these two bottom icons are checked so you have the parent and link. So all these will hook it to the rectangle. Ultimately, you can just use the whip and click and drag it. It's essentially the same thing. So as this one moves, rectangle moves, it's going to move as well. So we want to move it from here, so we'll put a hold keyframe for the rectangle. Go to 3 seconds, and then we'll do this. Oops. You shouldn't parent and link the triangle. We'll actually lock this one. I made that as a mistake. And then 3, do that. As we do this, goes up and down. And we just want to make it tighter as we go. And then let's make it into 0. And let's first see how everything looks. Cool. I think it's working pretty well, in terms of overall, now we can change the duration. I think all these are happening a little bit too slow, so I'll make it tighter. So tighter, or the shorter the distance between, that means it's faster. So let's do that. And I want these to fall in faster too. And if we move this, we want to also make sure these are also cutted. So I'll shift click all these, go to the where keyframe ends, hold on shift, click on the edge of the layer, and it will snap. We'll ultimately do the same thing, shift and snap it. And we want to make sure all that is happening right there. And I see a little bit of the bump right there. This means there's a keyframe that's overlapping. Where are you? There you go. That's what's a problem. Delete that keyframe. We don't need the keyframe for that one. If that's what's happening over here, go to here, click on the position, copy, go here, click on the position, paste it. And that did not really work well. That's because everything has been parented. Okay, let's go the easier way. We have this circle over there. We'll duplicate that, bring this one down, hit U on your keyboard, hook it to the rectangle. Now that has been connected, and delete all the keyframe. All you have to do is just move that like this, zoom out, and bring this all the way out. Alright, so that should work. Oops. Now that should work correctly. Nice. Alright, so while this is happening, we can also animate this circle. We can bring out all the positioning for this. We technically don't need all these, so we'll go ahead and delete all the keyframes because we want to start new. So from here we can say, as it goes up, we can bring this one like slightly slide it, and then as it goes back, we can make it so that it comes back a little bit more, and we'll just wiggle a little bit as we go. And this, we can actually copy the first one and paste it so it stays in the same position. Nice. We're gonna do the same thing for all the other circles. Keyframe here, go to where the next keyframe is. This one will bring it to the right. I'll exaggerate just a little bit more. And then put the original keyframe there. Alright, let's see. Cool. And this, again, we're gonna do the same thing. As it's over here, we want to bring this one down. Like that. I'm holding down shift while moving the time indicator, so it will snap it to the next keyframe. Copy this one, paste it, and see how it looks. Cool. Now this feels a little bit more natural. Keyframe that, move to the next one. It's almost at the edge. Like I said, I'll make it a bit more exaggerated. I'll make it even like stay in the air. And then this one, I can bring it to the original position. I think staying the airs looks pretty good, so I'll go to the third one, and then I'll make this one to move up a little bit more, exaggerate a bit. Let's see. And this, honestly, I feel like we can just move it to the next one, and this we can actually put another keyframe there. Like that. Make it tighter. And this even too, we can push it a little bit. Move all the keyframes, just so that it feels a little bit more natural. Right. I think we want to bounce it a little bit more closer to this, like that. Nice. Hit N on your keyboard. It will end the working area. Cool. Alright, so if you have up until here, you guys can go ahead and render the file again. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach me out, and I'll see you in the next class. Take care.